Thank you. Steve, Black Caviar on Saturday. She looks unbeatable.
Well, it looks that way, Edward. Everyone's looking forward to it. Early reports even from the ATC is that preliminary bookings for the meeting are dramatically greater than they've been for previous years. This is all generated by one mare, the best I've seen, the best horse I've seen. I know memory plays tricks on you, but what she's done to high-class opposition is, to me, I think unprecedented. To have other top-class horses off the bit after 400 metres in a sprint race. Saturday, first go right-handed, of course. It's going to be interesting. Peter Moody seems to be pretty confident that that's not an issue with her. And I think most of the population, I suppose, barring those who've got a runner against her, have got fingers crossed that she can keep this winning run going.
When was the last time you saw a horse that had the crowd-pulling potential that she does?
Yeah, good question. I suppose Kingston Town, particularly in this part of the world. Gunsynd, I think, was the horse that you most would liken her to in terms of the general public identifying and wanting to come to the races to see one horse. Sadly, I'm old enough to have seen Vane, but I really can't form a clear mental picture of that horse. People a fraction older than me will tell you that, he was incredible, winning a Craven A by 12 lengths, of course, on Derby Day. But this horse is rapidly creating her own legend, I think. We've had some terrific racing stories in recent years, particularly with a takeover target, a fairy tale that's every bit as good as Seabiscuit and Farlap. But I think this one's pretty similar now.
In the Derby, Jimmy Shue's the favourite. Is he the deserved favourite?
I think so, because of his superior turn of foot. Invariably, most derbies are not a staying test. They're not run at a cracking pace. And if that transpires again that way this year, I think his turn of foot will give him the edge. He's been practically invincible of late, and I think he'll win again.
In the size produce on Saturday, were there any horses from the slipper last week who were backing up in at the caught your eye?
Look, tricky one at this stage. I'd probably... I'll reserve judgment on that. I'd like to probably have a little more time to look at the size at this point before I start pontificating too much.
And anything that stood out to you in the form for this Saturday, Steve?
Well, there's a couple down south. There's a pretty good meeting at Caulfield, a very good 3-year-old race featuring the likes of Mushata and Tokugawa, who ran 1-2 in the feature 3-year-old race at Moonee Valley. Throw in Peter Moody's Turn It Up, who has competitive form through Plain Lucky. He's the horse I like a bit on Saturday. Because of the depth of the race, he'll be a bit of odds, Turn It Up, and I think you can have something on him.